What's up, y'all? Jeffery and Jeffery TV coming to you from the default location on an alternate route. Get my steps in before the game. And I was thinking, as I'm walking down the street, all Steelered out, how big a joy and how much excitement and how much energy I get from my football team playing today, the situation they're in, the possibilities of the situation they're in. And of course, Mason Rudolph. Mason, our savior Rudolph. Mason just energized not only me, but the football team in Pittsburgh. And I'm pretty sure I can say that everybody is happy for Mr. Rudolph, even the people who called him a bum. In fact, I was at a game recently. I think it had to be the Cleveland game, I guess. One of them games, I forget. Might have been out here. But yeah, I think it was one of the games in LA. Anyway, and I was talking to a Steelers fan sitting next to me, and I was like, I like Mason Rudolph. You know, I thought we were talking stuff, talking quarterbacks, talking this and that. I was like, I like Mason Rudolph. And he was like, what? He was saying, me and my wife were just talking. She hates Mason Rudolph. I mean, and that was the sentiment. That was the overlying sentiment. Almost like a hysteria where it was beyond cool. It was just a thing. It's like the earth is round. Mason Rudolph is a bum. Everybody just openly just said all these critical things about him. And I never, ever really thought he got a fair chance. Well, fair might be a strong word. I never thought he got a chance. A decent chance. Okay, forget fair. A decent chance to be the Steelers quarterback, even though they drafted him as quote unquote maybe a successor to Ben Roethlisberger. You know, and I went over the circumstances of his past play and his past experience on the center, but I ain't gonna go into that now. So I've always liked Mason, and for us to be going in today's game with a possibility to make the playoffs, even though 3 or 4 weeks ago, I didn't think we deserved to be in the playoffs. Well, maybe 4 weeks ago I did. And then we just dropped 2 games, and we looked so horrible dropping those 2 games. And even the games even the games we were winning, we were like 6-3 or something like that. We were like 7-4 or something like that. We were in the playoffs. We had like the 5th seed. We were like right there. We were right in the middle of it. And then we lost to 2 teams, both who only won 2 games the whole season. But even when we were winning with defense. And in fact, when Kenny Pickett played, after Matt Canada got fired, he threw over 300 yards, but he only scored 16 points. Offense was abysmal. And I knew this was not sustainable. There was even articles about that. Articles about, is this sustainable? Can Pittsburgh continue to win like this? And I was like, no. They're going to have to put up some points. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And not only that, put a point, but keep the opponent's offense off the field so the defense ain't out there playing 90% of the game. And Mason Rudolph has come in and did that. Mason Rudolph has come in and filled that niche and inspired me. He has me inspired about the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has me inspired about next season. I would not be mad at Mr. Rudolph if he left Pittsburgh. There's even some talk now, even as good as he is, or as good as he's doing, I should say. Some people still have their criticisms. They say this, they still say that. But there's even open talk that, they're not going to keep him. They're not going to pay him. They're going to let him go and maybe go out and get somebody else. Now, of course, this could be media people just wanting to drum up something to talk about. But if Mason comes out and he balls out today and they win and we get in the playoffs, watch out, Pittsburgh. Watch out, because we get some defensive players back. Our defense, Mike Tomlin is always going to have our defense ready to go. If the offense can hold the ball and play decent football and score a few points, I think we can compete with anybody because of the defense. And not because of Mason Rudolph, but because of Mason Rudolph. Having a decent quarterback that can lead the offense. The Matt Canada offense. It's the same offense it was before he got fired. But, you know, got different play callers. This shifted, that may have shifted, but it didn't deviate too far from the offense he put in, the offense we started the season off with. It's just the execution. Mason Rudolph executing the offense maybe the way it was intended. And it's productive. And it just got me fired up. It's got me fired up. But I was thinking, how is it that somebody 61 years old can wake up like a little kid, put on his Steelers stuff. I got a Steeler knapsack in my pocket just because I'm gonna stop by the store. I'm thinking manwich. I think I'm gonna make manwich today, and I'm gonna try not to get too much food in the house. I'm trying not to be silly with all the food in the house, but we'll see. It's a 1:30 game. Should be over about 4, and depending on the outcome will determine my mood and, you know, what I do for the rest of the evening. And the outcome will determine how much I care about tomorrow's football games. But we'll see. But at 1 o'clock at kickoff time today, that's what it's all about. Enjoying that moment. Put on my Steelers stuff. 61-year-old man dressing up like a little boy for his football team. Proud, excited. I was thinking, you know, it wasn't always copacetic or cool or whatever for grown men to wear sports apparel. You know, we all knew, you know, the men like their football team. And of course, I probably should say women too. And no, that's just a jab at people who think I should say woman too. I had a conversation yesterday with the Dane via chat about how traditional roles and traditional values are spit upon. There's a woman who just wants to be a traditional housewife and just stay in the house and not be a CEO will be looked down upon. Or a woman is told, oh yeah, you can have kids and be a CEO. In fact, you should have kids and raise kids and have a role outside the house. And of course, that's true. I believe the father or the husband should contribute and it should go 50-50. I agree. But I'm not going to look down on somebody who doesn't believe that. I'm not going to look down on somebody who thinks that women should stay at home and take care of that thing. But anyway, I got off track. I can't help it. That's what I do. So that's what I'm saying. So we all kind of knew that men, quote unquote men, you know, like their football teams, and they sitting there root for their sports team. But when did it become cool or almost mainstream for them to wear the colors? You know, to wear the like jerseys and, you know, paraphernalia of that football team. For it not to even be looked upon as strange, just like, oh, okay, he likes so-and-so team. In fact, when I go back to Ohio, now I go back to Youngstown, I even see women. I'm talking about like middle-aged women, my age women. Everybody, they wear sports clothing, maybe for the university, Ohio State, you know, or Steelers or the Browns. Sports is big back there. So you see, you know, regular middle-aged women wearing sports apparel or, you know, for their school or for a college team, Ohio State or Youngstown, the Penguins or something. You know, when you go to the store, something like on a Saturday, of course. On Saturday, you know, you go out, they throw on their Youngstown, you know, their sports shirts or whatever. So it's kind of mainstream now. But I'm sure, and I think, I keep telling myself that I remember when it may or may not have been cool or copacetic or, you know, looked upon as, ooh, why is he, you know, wearing that? What's he wearing that for? Blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm sitting here thinking that, you know, I get up, I throw on my Steeler stuff, my Steeler hat, get ready for the game. Then when I go out there, I guess when I go out there, people see me in public dressed like this, they know what I'm doing. In fact, people comment. You know, it's to the point now we're coming, yeah, or you know, Steelers fans give us that look and just kind of nod or they say something about the game, or somebody who, is rooting for another team and maybe not wearing that stuff, come up to me, maybe show me their keychain or their wallet or something, that's not overtly displayed, they're a fan of another team. And then we'll get to talking and stuff. So, it's part of the culture now. And I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing, I'm sure that at one time it wasn't, but how long ago that was, and how long has it been that where sports has been publicly or acknowledged in the mainstream to where, everybody knows what you're doing. You wear the Pittsburgh Steelers colors. In fact, you can probably just wear the colors and people know. And they even know because they'll even say that the game today, said they win last week. They know the conversation that goes behind it. Even if they may not be a sports fan, they said they win last week. I'm watching this, or my uncle loves the Steelers, or this or that, And they'll start saying stuff about how they remember Mean Joe Green or this or that or stuff. And it's just part, I think it's become a deeper part of our culture. It has deepened, not a deeper part, but it has grown more into our culture to where, sports now, it's what we do. It's what we do. Root for our teams. In fact, it's become an industry. I'm sure it's become an industry to where, you got billions of dollars in apparel and industry, paraphernalia, tailgating stuff, coolers, lunch bags. And like I said, keychains. You can buy Steelers slippers, Steeler cup holders, Steeler glasses. Glasses that you drink out of and glasses that you wear on your face. Hats, everything. So it has become, and I am a fan of capitalism. I was talking here, I'm going to slip over to another topic. I was talking to Dane yesterday about how, we were talking about those traditional values and how some women just want to stay at home and not work, and they may be looked down upon by other women, and damn near every media thing you see on TV or something shows a woman, being a super ninja and just fighting everybody and being a superhero and doing all this and doing all that. But some women just want to stay at home. And we were talking about the value of, placing a dollar value on being a housewife, because it's true that job was devalued or probably never attained the value of which it's worth. It's to be a housewife. It's just something that women were supposed to do, and they like to do it, and that's it. The value probably didn't rise to where it should have, but now through, different movements and, different internet, maybe any discussions, how hard it is to be a parent and being a single parent and fathers being parents, that whole thing, has brought it to the light. So, yeah, it had to be a time. I don't know how I was tying that in, but they even got, sports paraphernalia for babies, diapers and little onesies and blankets for babies for your sports team. So that's $1 billion industry. And that has definitely made it, I guess that in itself would make it part of the mainstream. That simply in itself. Like a grandfather or something. I ain't never bought a granddaughter nothing. That's not true. I have. And like my daughter said, just keep flying them out here every time they want to come. Buying 3 seats. To fly them out here every time they come. That's my birthday and Christmas present to all of them. I'll buy tickets for y'all come out here, or I'll fly back there. I ain't gonna say me flying back there is a gift to them, even though it is. I ain't gonna say that part. I ain't gonna say me flying back there is a gift to them too. They should put that under their tree. The fact that I came in January, whenever, if I go back this month, Is it this month or this month? Shit, it's like next week. It might be next week. But anyway, you know, so it all fits. I guess it all kind of like ties in. The economy, sports. In fact, the fact that somebody even makes hoodies that say Steelers and hats. The fact that this stuff is on the market has shown that it's gone mainstream. And it's kind of like a quote unquote approval that, oh, it's okay to wear. It's cool to wear, you know, your sports team. And some of it look pretty good. I really like this one. You know, and I wasn't too sure how much I would like the yellow sleeves, but I like this one. Got it in medium size. Got a couple of them at home that are extra large. And, you know, I wasn't so keen on wearing those, but I think that wearing them oversized ain't so bad. You know, wearing them big give it a different look, and I could probably pull that off. You know, because one of them is a Steeler thing, but it's customized where it says P-Funk 1 on it or something like that. So, you know, I'm gonna keep that and definitely keep that in the mix. So here we are. I never went this way before. I never came this way. Can you see? I never came. Oh, there's the Los Angeles River Walk. Let's get that picture. See if I can get that picture for y'all. See if I can get that picture. We're gonna try to get this picture for Jens. Can you see that? Los Angeles River Walk. I don't know how clear you can see it. See it up there? I found this thing. It's kind of cool. Like you're walking along what's it called? The river run or the lake or what's it called? I know what that is. The riverbed or whatever. And they have a little sign. You can see how they try to make it, you know, like, not like a park, but, you know, some amenities kind of. You know, and it's, you know, and I guess they're keeping the homeless out of there. Because, you know, the homeless is definitely going to try to post up. But you can see they did some stuff. Then it stops here. But then I think it starts again over there. Because I see somebody look like they're on a skateboard or something. You know, you cross over or go under, you can see where you can't, but I can. You can see where, I wonder if I can, how can I do this? Turn it like, I can just turn it like this. So you can see where, you know, the path, this side is closed. That's the side I walked up over there. And then you come across the street, and it's called CC, Los Angeles Riverbed, Los Angeles River. You can see that coming across Custer. Not sure what you saw or didn't see. So you got a little trespassing thing here. And you see the river inlet, outlet, water drain, and all that. It's kind of nice. I like how, like when I found that one in Redlands, that bike path, how human beings invest in certain things. You know, that probably took a few $1 million. That money just didn't come out of nowhere, you know. That money just didn't drop out of the sky. It had to be appropriated, agreed upon. People had to get together, you know, formulate contracts, you know, land purchases, the whole thing. It's not easy. And I think about it, who would just think to put a bike path, a nice bike path too, like I said this before, with little stops where you can sit. And I think one had a water fountain. I haven't seen any bathrooms, but it's Redlands and Loma Linda, bathrooms everywhere, because you know all of it's not all completely developed. So you can like step to the side and let it go. So I ain't to worry about bathrooms, but you know, it's paved, had a nice little fence, and like little plaques, you know, say, hey, here is where the so-and-so was, or the, you know, this bird species, or this or that, you know. It's just nice. And then I look and see, you know, how many people actually use this? You know, does it get any use out of it? Or is it just an investment to give people jobs, give people work? investment in the community, and it probably could bring up the property value for the whole city and all that. It can be attractive because they are building a lot out there, and to have that there is definitely probably would attract people. So I can see why the city would do that. Anyway, I always deviate. Remember these old things, the old mailboxes? I think they're going away. I think those mailboxes are going away. And that's one of the mailboxes where you don't put mail in. It's like locked. It's like not one of the ones where you actually put mail in. It's like one of the ones that I guess the mailman use or leave stuff, or I don't know what they use it for. Anyhow, back to Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph, take my hat off to you, and I take my hat off to myself, because it ain't nothing like being right, let's just face it. It ain't nothing like having what you say come through. It just fuels my ego, and it more and more, it makes me value what I think, in my opinion, and my ideas, no matter how far outside the mainstream thinking or outside the box they sound to people. Reactions I get when I say certain things, they don't faze me no more. It used to when I wasn't heard. It used to before I, got that a bunch of good rewards or recognized for what I'm saying. Maybe since I've reached a certain level of recognition and understanding. So now I'm at the point where I don't care if I'm wrong or not. I don't care if I get accolades. But if I do, I like it. And if I don't, you'll see. It just takes time. I just have that confidence. And I wake up every morning with that confidence, or faith, or whatever you want to call it. And it makes life just that much more interesting and fun. In fact, I got to make sure I message my daughter so I get my money down on the Steelers today. I think we're giving up 3 points. I'm gonna take the money line because I'm gonna give the points because I want to get paid. If you take it, if Steelers are favorite and you bet them without the points, the odds aren't worth a damn. So, and because that one time I took them, they were underdog to Seattle by 4 points. I took them to win straight up. I got paid $175. I got paid $1.75. Usually, and then when I bet now, if I take the Steelers, they're favored by 4 or whatever, 3, even by give the points, I won't even make 100. I'll make like 90% of what I bet. It's crazy. They get you, FanDuel and all them get you, but they give you an avenue, to place wagers. So, other than having to go to a bookie or work all that, so it's good. It's not a complaint, just an observation. And I guess I'm thinking, but I'm sure that as more and more online gaming sites come up, the competition may force people with better odds, better offerings. But I think Vegas pretty much, I bet you all that's regulated. I bet you Vegas has it regulated to keep what they want you to bet and to keep their odds protected and to keep their money lines and all that safe so that people don't go to Vegas and just bet at FanDuel the whole time. Be in Vegas at a sports book and just do it online. All the sports books in Vegas should be in trouble. In fact, I'm thinking that online gaming is probably illegal in Nevada. I know I would make it illegal. I wouldn't want people coming on my sports books. In fact, I know the gambling industry in Vegas, consortium or conglomerate or lobbyists or whatever, is strong enough to make sure that don't happen. I can guarantee you it's illegal in Nevada. Hell, it might even be illegal in California. I know it's illegal in California. It might be illegal in California just because it's so close to Vegas. Just to keep it, to protect that industry. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them at all. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell. And I'm swinging on y'all 2 times. 2 times. For me, for the funk. And for Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you're going to say that's 3. And I'm going to say, no, it ain't. Now, that's what I'm going to say. You're going to say that's 3. And I'm going to say, no, it ain't. It's what I say it is. But anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, and for the funk. And for and Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom in this or any universe that ever was, is, or will be, a totality of it all, the theory of universe, hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery. This thing don't ever off the first time. Hell, it didn't cut off.